Hello everyone, welcome back to WLR Season 1, Round 1 for Tier 2 today in Spain. After this very long wait, we are finally here in Round 1. So I'm currently alongside George today, so would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. I am Alfie's co-commentator for today. Can't wait for this race to get underway. Very exciting to watch everyone get their show their pace in Tier 2 today.
Yeah, definitely. So to start it off, George, what's your predictions for qualifying at least so far?
Oh, Dive and David, well, Shadow showing great pace, and I
Hmm.
think he's going to take pole today. First out at the moment on the track. I think he's going to take
So
pole, followed
yeah,
by Days in the Red Bull. I
yeah,
think he's a strong
definitely.
driver. Definitely, yeah, definitely going to get P2. And General Hart, I think he'll get P3. Barely
Yeah,
scraped
so
it, but I
Magnus, yeah.
think he'll manage. Yeah.
I think you got very strong predictions there, George. I think looking at this lineup right now, there's quite a few big drivers here. I think Lucky Nutshot could be someone to keep an eye on,
Yeah, agree.
definitely. But from what we've personally seen, like firsthand, Diaband Davis, so
Shadow.
Shadow F1
Yeah.
on the pace, definitely, very, very on the pace. So I'm going to put him for my pole position today. Alongside him, this is a bit difficult, but if I definitely think if Magnus can string his laps together, P2, um, as long as he
Yeah.
stays consistent, then P3 I think it'd be quite a big fight for. With Days, maybe Lucky Nut short. Look at those, maybe Gaffo as well if he can stay extremely consistent as well.
Yeah, dark
Um,
horse in this race, I can't lie, he is.
yes, definitely. So as we have Ricky starting the lap now, in AlphaTauri. I believe he is the first person on the lap at the moment, as there is a Red Bull. Yeah, he's the only person on the lap. So let's go on board with him, as he's coming around a very long turn 4 at the moment, heading up into the start of Sector 2 to set a 21.608 in Sector 1, which is a very, very decent time. Hopefully he can string it together for the rest of the lap. George, would you like to take over for the rest of his lap on board of Ricky?
Oh, well, I'm watching Shadow at the moment. Stringer's lap, he's gone
Is he
purple
on the
sector
lap?
1 at the moment.
Oh wow! So he's seen as being. I believe someone spun. Is that Gaffo? Gaffo was facing the wrong way. He's just off racing line now. Yeah. So Gaffo, who's also on the mediums at the moment, has had a little spin, which is definitely not ideal, especially considering that was the start of his lap. Um, So I'm sure he won't be happy with himself after that. So Ricky rounding the final corner all days, first to finish that with 13.265, puts his provisional pole. But Ricky invalidates last corner. That is not ideal for him at all. I'm sure he won't be happy with that. Hype QX goes provisional pole again.
Oh,
Diamond David. So Shadow
Shadow.
F1 by nearly a
Wow.
second. That's a very good lap indeed.
Showing some insane pace. Wow.
Definitely. I can
That
completely
I was
agree with
watching
you
that,
there.
it was a clean lap. I was no mistakes, and he is clear. Eight
Yeah.
tenths at the moment, showing good, the dominant pace at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be happy with that lap. Um, so, George, from obviously what we've been doing to slightly practice for tomorrow as well for Tier 1, um, we've noticed that the second laps around the 9 minute mark is the faster time to really go out, because these marbles at the moment on this new F1 game are horrendous, aren't they?
Oh
So, do
yeah,
you
very
reckon
bad.
anyone will take this into consideration? Or,
I think I don't think most tier two drivers know about it, but I think half of them will actually be faster on their third lap because they're prone to making mistakes more often. So I
yeah.
reckon some of them will actually string a good lap in the third lap, but some of them think they're going to end on their second. It's just a 50-50 really.
Yeah, I think I think for the faster drivers, the marbles will definitely affect them much more than it will, considering to the slower drivers.
Yeah,
Um, but I reckon there'll still be loads of last-minute improvements on their final laps. So
yeah.
um, I wouldn't put it past them for improving the final lap. But yeah, the marbles are terrible around here, and they do lose you a lot of time on your final lap there.
Yeah, as I've just seen on Magnus's lap, he's had to go around and do another lap, recharge his ERS. He's up on
Oh,
his lapping now. Because he binned his first lap, didn't put it together. So he's recharged, go around, gone for a second lap. Let's see how he does it going into the first corner. Or very smooth, or he's had a
so
bit
who
of
was
a
this? Sorry.
lost his rear end. Magnus, General Hut,
So General
lost
Hart.
his rear end into sector
Yeah.
1. Look at their marbles taking a big toll on his tyres. Look at that. Oh,
So
making
it's quite
this
a
the
clean
apex.
sector one at the moment. He's purple, from what we can see.
Yeah. Let's see if he could put it ahead of Shadow. And see if these guys could contend against each other in this quali
Yeah,
session.
definitely. Since the nearest
As-
person to Shadow is the Aston Martin
Yeah.
Theo Pro underscore 34.
As we said in our predictions,
Yeah, so he's expected to be up there, but we do believe his race pace will be much stronger than his qualifying pace. At the moment, as he spins it right into the barrier, hopefully he doesn't have rear wing damage, because
Yeah.
he would have to return to the pits immediately and repair that. But that's definitely not ideal for him.
see how hungry the drivers are to get that pole position.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing the limits at the moment here. As he pits, he's got to be careful of this bump, as he does be careful of. We
Yeah, the
saw
glitch.
I'm not sure if you watched it yesterday, Jules, but in qualifying, a driver did get caught off from it. Yeah, it's really dangerous around here, as Vaders and Jackie Gavana is out, so I'm not sure what's happened with those, but they might have got caught out by the bump. I'm not too sure. As Lucky Nutshot's improved his sector 1 at the moment by half a tenth on the mediums. Heads up into turn 6, I believe. Want to get a great exit out of here, heading up into 6. Quite a difficult braking zone this, because you've got to brake, steer, and then get back on the traction as soon as possible. We're going to head up onto the back straight to open DRS for the second time of this lap, and shooting down the back straight around 190 miles per hour there. Hard braking back down to around 85, as he's got to shoot up last sector now on these mediums, so the higher he goes, the better. At the moment, there's a car parked on the track. Whoa, that is from Hassas, and he gets a 5. As Lucky Nutshot gets a 5-place grid penalty for that, which is, I'm not sure what happened there, but that wasn't Lucky Nutshot's fault, as he was on the flying lap, and Hassas was off the track there, and he's pulling into the pits. That was very dangerous from the Williams there. I'm not too sure what happened, as Days is basically 300ths up on his first sector. Now he's nearly 4 tenths up on his sector 2. This could be a very good lap from Days here in the Red Bull. Gets a little squirm on the traction at the moment. He's down in P10, 1.8 behind Shadow F1, so Diver and David. Flat out for these final 2 corners here, as he's going to open up the DRS across the line. Well, this put him only up from P9 at the moment, ahead of Hassas, but he improved by nearly half a second. But it's not good enough to go for pole, as we have got Nakal, who was one of the tier 3s yesterday, so he must be reserving, sorry. And he's 7 tenths behind Shadow F1's lap, so that's very good considering he's a tier 3, as there's a McLaren off the track as well. I'm not sure what McLaren that is. That is F1 Chenzi, I believe. Then we've got Divan David to be starting up a lap here, which may be his fastest lap, as Ricky does go 2 tenths, so he's the closest person to be with Shadow F1 at the moment. So George, do you still believe Shadow F1's got this in the bag at the moment?
Oh yeah, looking at the pace right now, everyone else has done the second lap pretty much, and he's just about to start his, and the person behind him's 2 tenths behind. Well, considering our predictions, Days, he isn't really proven our predictions very well.
No,
is he? Neither is Magnus.
I still wouldn't put him out of it though. I would still have him up there for my race. But
but for the quality predictions, yeah. Felix is definitely proving us right.
Yeah. Shadow F1, does he improve? No, he's not. He's 200ths down in the first sector.
Proving the marbles can actually put you down in that.
You need to get a very good exit out of here, otherwise you lose a lot of time. I think this is turn 6. I'm not too sure. I need to know my turns a bit better through here. right, this is a very key bit. You want to get in traction as soon as possible because it's a very, very long stretch here on the throttle. He's going to be heading up to 190, hard braking zone again. This is a very difficult corner. Turn in too early, you'll hit the curbs. Turn in too late, you're going to go into that green bit and spin, just like Shadow F1's done. That is his lap over at the moment. I'm sure he won't be happy with himself. He's got to be careful to get on the track because those cars come in. He should be all clear to rejoin now, but I'm sure he wasn't expecting that. I just think he ran out too wide onto that little green painted area, considering that's not racing line, and there may be a bit.
Well, Magnus is about to finish his lap.
And he goes P3, so he's finally got a lap together, and it's really shot him up the order. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that by 4 tenths. As SJ Williams is about, no, he finished his lap and he's half second behind Shadow F1. George, from what can you see, is there anyone on the lap still?
SJ Williams, no. Theo Pro's about to cross the line. Nope.
Was he finishing the lap or starting? I'm not sure.
Finishing.
So, how many Mercedes on here? So
Alfie Hudson's with lap.
So, let's find Alfie Hudson. So he's in the Williams.
16th at the moment. Let's see where he can shoot him up.
Let's see where Alfie Hudson can go. Sorry.
Seems like a pretty smooth lap from what I'm seeing.
He has got a few cars in front of him. So he will get slightly dirty air, which is not great in the last sector. Loses you a lot of time, considering most of it is going to be flat now. So he's going to lose all of that mechanical grip that he would have if he was in clean air. As he's going to round the final corner now, a slight little lift, shift down to 6, open up the DRS, cross the line. Where's that going to put him? P15, and he improves by 3 tenths. So it's a 15th and 16th lockout at the moment for the Williams. I'm sure they'll be aiming high for that in the race. So, is there any clarification for what happened with Vaders and Jackie Gabbana at the moment, George?
No, I don't really see what's happening to them pretty much. Well, both of their teammates, Vader's teammate, General Magnus, P3, Jackie Gabbana's teammate, P2. But and that's not really going to do them much help, is it, in the constructors? Is it? Since the McLaren's are showing dominance, P1,
that
P5.
Hassas incident with the lucky nut shot, I think it was, happened because of Hassas was in low fuel mode, so he couldn't move out the way, which did give Lucky Nutshot a grid penalty there, which is not well, it's quite out of order, to be fair, considering it wasn't his fault at all. It was neither's fault.
Ricky's just died his lap.
It couldn't have been avoided. So I doubt there'll be a lobby restart, but there may be, as F1 Jesse's up by nearly 2 tenths here, so 1.8 tenths. He's going to need a bit more than that though to get provisional pole, as Shadow F1's got a very, very good provisional lap time at the moment here. Closest person's 2.3 tenths, which is a very big gap. A very, very big gap actually.
And he's on his lappers at the moment, coming in some of the sector.
Hello Oscar. Third, he goes third. So that's 3 tenths behind. That's a very good lap. So it's 1 and 3 at the moment here for the McLarens. So if the race was to end like this, the McLarens and the constructors is going in a very positive direction. Yesterday, I don't know if they got too many points. I think J-Tin did pick up quite a few. But apart from that, I'm not sure about many else. Ricky, is he about to cross the line here? Ricky, oh, 600s behind. That's very close. As F1 is now out, so is that Theo. Is anyone else on the lap now? I'm looking at I'm Alex, he's up by half a tenth here in the second sector, but he's pretty much out of ERS. And there's going to be a straight to go, so he's going to lose a bunch of time. I'm not sure if he's going to abort this lap here. Jules, what happened with the McLaren?
I didn't really see what happened with him. I was just watching Ricky's lap. He went into sector 3 after 10 spot, but just wasn't enough to go pole really. Shadow's showing really good pace.
Definitely. He could probably stay in the pits. It'll be very risky, but if
he's going out.
As Yeah, Alex does pull into the pits. Ooh, very close there. He hits the bump extremely hard, just about misses the pit entry ball. So it's Bluefoot. Is he starting a lap? Yes, he is. So 8 tenths behind. He's the highest Alfa Romeo at the moment. He's going to be aiming for very high up. Through 1, through 2, flat on the throttle now through the long turn 3. Seems like it's not going to end. Very, very high G-forces in real life at the moment here. Is he going to end off sector 1 at the moment? He's half a tenth down on his delta. So he's starting sector 2 now. He's got to improve and get as much time as he can out of this lap. Otherwise, it won't be good enough to improve him at all. So he's going to be through this little tricky left-right up onto the back straight, which can catch many drivers out in the race and probably guarantee there'll be a crash there. And he opens up the DRS now. We're going to see sector split now for sector 2. What is he on his delta? He's 800ths up. He's still not going to be good enough to get near pole position at the moment, unless he has a wonderful sector 3. But he could maybe get 5th, potentially, if this last sector is good enough. So it's going to be pretty much flat out here, as it's a slight lift for the final corner. He's going to open the DRS nice and wide. Where's this going to put him? It's good for P6 at the moment here. So that's a very decent lap there from It's Bluefoot. So,
Shadow's on his
is there
lap.
anyone else on a good lap?
He's 3,000 off on his sector 1.
As Magnus has set a lap, I think, and he did go P3. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's done a lap at all yet, or what's happened here. But let's go on board with Shadow F1.
3,000 up on his sector 1. Not really looking like a strong lap at the moment. I think he may have aborted.
An Alfa Romeo going around the final bit here. Is he up on his lap? Yeah, so Lucky Nutshot goes P11, but I think he was just starting the lap there because he has got a bunch of ERS to use. As there's an, is it an Alpine? It is an Alpine, and they're good enough for P12 at the moment. So I'm not sure. Are they Williams? Is there? It is a Williams, and Hassas doesn't improve unless he's starting another lap. As there's a Red Bull. Oh, this is getting really tricky to keep hold of here. So it'll be Days who starting a lap probably. As there is a Haas round in the final corner here. It's I'm Alex. He goes half a second faster. Well, I think this Delta is really messing up at the moment because most of these are starting laps, I think. There's 2 Hasses on the grid, isn't there?
Yeah. SJ Williams and I'm Alex. 16th and 6th.
Oh, there's SJ Williams. Sorry, I didn't see that. So is Gaff on a lap? Gaff finishes lap P13 only. So there's going to be an Alfa Romeo around the final corner here. It's Lucky Nutshot. He's on a lap. He's half a tenth up at the moment. Where's this going to put Lucky Nutshot? P9. So it's an 8th and 9th for the Alfa Romeos at the moment. Is that an Alpine? No, that'd be a Williams instead there. So Hassas is going to box here. There is a Red Bull. That will be Days. Where's Days going to go? Days rounds the final corner, opens up the DRS. He's only good for P14 only. So that's not great. So Alfie Hudson and the other Williams here, hoping to get a good position here. And he's only going to go P15 as well. So is this it over? As the Hasses have got across, is SJ Williams up on his lap? I'm not too sure. I think he's the last one on his lap. Or there's an Alpine there.
Boyd.
As he stopped. As there's yeah,
no more laps coming through. This is it.
Qualifying over.
Wow.
That was close to our predictions. I would say that.
Yeah, very nice. Interesting.
Days, who we did put in our predictions, is not there. But I do trust he'll have a good race. But that McLaren that whose gauge we are looking at the moment there, on pole position with his banker lap. That was his first lap. The track didn't have any evolution at all, with not rubbered in one bit, and he managed to pole it with that. George, are you surprised?
Not really. I'm surprised about Days. I'm surprised he's so off the pace here. Well, I think Shadow's pace, he done a good banker. I think the nerves got the better of him, not letting him go any faster. But fair enough to him. I've got to give it to him. That was
yeah, for sure.
Good concession.
So this is our grid order for the race here, as Lucky Nutshot will have a grid penalty. I'm not sure what's going to happen about that though. So it is Shadow F1 on pole, then Ricky, then Magnus, then Hype QX, F1 Chenzi, SJ Williams, Nicole, It's Bluefoot, Lucky Nutshot, Theo Pro, Dan Burt, Footy, LG Gaffo, Days, Alfie Hudson, I'm Alex, Hassas, Fusion Gamer, Vaders, and Jackie Gabbana, who will round off the grid. So, and obviously Lucky Nutshot with 5th place. Interesting race. Will it rain again like tier 3 yesterday? I don't think so. George, what's the suggested strategy around here? Do you know it?
I think it's soft to mediums, but in my opinion, I would start on the mediums and see how the tyre wear goes, and if it's bad, onto the hards, and if it's good, onto the medium, onto the softs.
I definitely agree with you there.
Softs.
Because if you're on the mediums, you've got 2 options. Because from what I've seen, it's mediums are soft, but looking at the track map itself and from races on the older game and around here in general, the tyre wear is insanely high, and it puts a lot of pressure on your front left tyres because there's so many long right-handers and flat rights that it's just going to just be getting so much wear. So to start on the mediums will be the best idea. So then if the tyre wear does get extremely bad, they will get onto hards, and if it's not that bad for some certain drivers, they can go to softs. So it's the formation lap now. So if we just enable all that. What's your race predictions, first of all, now we're on the formation lap?
Well, this is very tough, you know, because we haven't really seen Ricky race a lot, and I don't know what his race pace is like. But in my opinion, I think Magnus is going to get lucky with a safety car, win. I think Felix is going to go P2 from nervousness, because later in quali, he banger finished his race, finished his quali. So I think he's going to go P2 with not as strong race pace as quali. I think Ricky's going to DNF just from because pushing too much, and he's just going to bin it into a wall. And I think P3 will be SJ Williams.
So
or F1 says me, because I
there's some
reckon they're going to get lucky.
wild predictions, because you're predicting crashes, which is interesting now. But I think if I'm just going to say race predictions at the moment here, unless Shadow F1, so Diaban David, has a very poor race and spins and is just as consistent as he was in that French Grand Prix practice race, I can't not see him winning, because if he was consistent like France, yeah, which was very poor from him, he won't win at all. But if he steps that consistency up, he will win, because we have seen his pace, and that was only from 1 lap. So the Mercedes now of Magnus always has had more race pace than qualifying pace. He's always managed to find himself on the perfect strategy from his own knowledge of how the tyres work. Ricky, also a very good person to predict here, but I'm saying it's going to be a double McLaren podium here with F1 Chenzi here. He looked very fast in qualifying and just unlucky to DNF, I think. But they're all, whoa, there's an Alpine who goes onto the gravel there. That's not the best way to warm up the tyres, but they're all going to be lining up on their grid spots now. It's going to be interesting as the final person is Williams of Hassas now, running up the end of the grid. Hopefully there's not the red light glitch like there was last game, but I think there is.
Who do you think is going to get best start?
It's going to be a weird one here. So, whoa. So they're all revving it out now. It's lights out and away we go, and it's an amazing start for Ricky in the AlphaTauri there. It's alongside Diaban David going up into turn 1. All 20 cars go past now. Let's see who's in first into turn 1. It is the AlphaTauri. Oh, and then there's Hype QX and Diaban David having contact, and that's the Aston Martin round. Oh, it's an amazing start from the AlphaTauri there. A Shadow F1 had quite a poor lights out as the Mercedes holds position as F1 Chenzi moves up. It's Bluefoot, and it's a massive pack back there. Look how many people there is. There's people going side by side, left, right and centre. There's an Alfa Romeo that does get spun by someone there. What a very hectic race start at the moment here, as there is Vaders and Hassas side by side here, as Vaders just edges ahead, but It's the Ferraris up in P8 and P9 here. Ricky with a very good start. Very good start. Demo reaction times from Ricky were amazing, George. Surely you have to agree.
Yeah, that race start was very interesting. I saw Shadow at front, Diver David into the first corner, side by side of the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri seemed to have understeer into Shadow's side pod, making him go round, obviously.
Yeah, so obviously, well, as we have General Hart, we're going to go on board with him now. Down the pit straight, he's going to use a little bit of his battery here. He's got a little bit less than Shadow Fun. He's going to go side by side into turn 1 here. Oh, it's a poor camera angle as the Mercedes just edges ahead. Very good move from Magnus there. Very, very good move to get himself up into P2 and try and chase down Ricky now. As now F1 Chenzi is going to be on the back of his teammate. So it's a very poor start from Shadow F1. Who had a very poor reaction time, and he just couldn't, even in the second bit there of getting up the gears and releasing the clutch, he just couldn't get the car moving. And he just couldn't get his foot on the throttle properly, as it looks like Shadow F1 might be coming back at Magnus, who is now 1.8 behind Ricky, so it's an amazing start from Ricky there. He's really pulled ahead, and he's going to try and extend that gap as much as he can. As Vadis has got past Alfie Hudson now, as Alfie Hudson gets spun, so that's Alfie Hudson down. So it's not great for him. Neither is it for Hype QX, who was P3 and had contact with Shadow F1. So coming over to you now, George. Did you see the contact there?
Personally, no, but it's just unlucky. We've had no DNFs at the moment, which is good, but just quite a few spins. As LG Gaffo spins,
so
dropping down the order.
Is LG Gaffo has had a big spin, and wow, spot. So that's not good for Gaffo either. He was looking to get some really good points there. As Hype QX gets past Fusion Gamer, who is AI'd, I think. But is everyone just near each other? As let's go back to looking at, oh wow, it's just the two papaya cars of the McLarens are right behind that Mercedes, which is as wide as a bus at the moment here. And it's very good defending here, considering he doesn't have a teammate to back him up at this current moment. So he's just going to defend for his life, because he's going to want to hold on to this podium spot here. And Ricky's just pulling out this gap as much as he can. So maybe not that Mercedes is firing up his tyres too well. So he's just going to have to defend as much as he can until he gets in a rhythm of pace. So at the moment... Oh, Shadow F1's going to send a dive as they're steering. Oh, it's close. They don't wheel bang. Shadow F1 couldn't get a stick in. Very good defending there from Magnus in the Mercedes. He's very, very making that car wide. Do you think he'll get past him down the pit straight here? Considering DRS will be now, as there's a virtual safety car. What's happened there? George, have you seen it? I've seen an Alpine has lost quite a few positions. An Alpine has spun, I think, and lost his front wing, sorry. As this is going to bring out a bit of strategy now. Lap 4. There's a few soft runners here. Majority of the field are on mediums here. Some are on
S.J. Williams pit.
But Jackie Gabbana's on the hards.
Gaffo's boxed.
So Gaffo is in the box, so is S.J. Williams, so's Footy. Everyone else is standing out. This is only a virtual though, so although they're not going to lose too much time, they're not going to bunch up to the pack. So, and I can't see this safety car getting upgraded anytime soon. As now the gap under the virtual safety car is somehow edged out to 4 seconds with Ricky. So I'm not sure how that's happened too much. But it was a very insane race start, as we're going to look at the position changes here. Dan Burt up 5 places. Vaders up 10. What a start for Vaders. That's an amazing start for the Mercedes there. He must just slip through everyone. Very, very good start from the Mercedes there. And he's going to have to do more of that to aid his teammate now, because there's 2 ferocious McLarens here that are known to have pace. And them being right next to each other doesn't help, as they're going to team up against that Mercedes. And as Vaders now picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, which is not good news for him or his teammate Magnus now. As now Darban David's going to have DRS, which we know is very powerful down here on this pit straight. He's going to be gaining. Is he going to get alongside by turn 1? We're going to have a little look. He's going to look to the inside, but no, he backs out with it. He doesn't go for the move. He thinks better of it and sticks right behind him. So, Jules, since we don't have all this real-life technology of like AWS sponsors and that, when do you reckon he'll get past him here?
I reckon it'll get past anytime soon. I think this lap actually on the next straight, he's seemed very impatient, but I think on that first straight he backed out to use DRS on this straight and pull away in the sector 3 and let his teammate attack Magnus himself.
Definitely.
Good decision making.
I think if you could get the overtake here, it's good, but you have to
And
have
he's really close, and he's
oh!
been Oh, he's been
no,
tagged.
he hit him. He hit him. I think so. He hit him, unless he spun and then just got tangled up with him. So that's now Shadow F1 in 7th and Magnus in 8th. I'm sure they're not happy with each other now. As now F1 Chenzi's up into 2nd now. As Ricky, his gap is 4 seconds. So
I saw what happened. Brandon too hot, spun. He had started spinning.
So Magnus went too hot
and collected Felix. So Shadow collected Shadow.
Yeah. So Ricky, I don't want to give him the commentator's curse, but it's domination. It's just like Max Verstappen in real life, isn't it? Although it's equal cars, no one's near him. No one is. Oh, is that a virtual safety car now? What's happened here? I'm just looking. Dan Burt has spun and he's lost his front wing. He's facing the wrong way. I'm not sure what's happened there. He must have collided with someone. As Dan Burt gets disqualified for facing the wrong way. That's very harsh from the game there. As he's going to have to pull off to the side of the track now. And that's him out of the race and disqualified now. There'll probably be an investigation towards the end. As Eshday Williams peels into the pits again. What is his strategy called here? Has he lost his front wing, or we're going to have a little look at his pit stop? How good is it? They're replacing his front wing. They're putting on another set of medium tyres at the moment. And that's going to probably put him down in last place here. So, Mikhail in P5. He's a tier 3 driver, if you didn't know, George. He was leading the majority of yesterday's race. Would you think he's in a good position here for maybe a potential podium later on?
Yeah. As a tier 3 driver, showing good pace in tier 2, could potentially get moved up because he's showing really good pace against everyone else, good consistency. In my opinion, he's doing really well.
As the virtual safety car ends now, so Mikhail's definitely going to put on a show for his home crowd here, as I believe he's one of the only Spaniards on the grid at the moment. So, and he's in that Ferrari. So it's much like the Fernando Alonso combination, as he's going to head up at the inside of Days into turn 1 now. Does he get the move done? He does get the move done on the number 7 Red Bull. So that's Mikhail through, looking up towards the next McLaren, as there's a safety car now. So what has happened here, we do not know. George, did you pick up anything there on what happened? As Hype QX is lost the position. Diaban David's behind Hassas now, and Magnus is in front of him. So
I think Eshday Williams caused that. He stopped on track.
Eshday Williams has got a penalty and stopped. Oh,
he's just
did
gone
you
straight.
see that?
Yeah, surely there's wing damage.
Eshday Williams just got a 5-second time penalty for colliding with Ricky there, so the race leader. So Eshday Williams tried unlapping himself, and he almost took out the race leader.
Oh, Eshday Williams has no front wing. That's why he has no front wing, no downforce to get out of the way.
Think, yeah, it's very, very odd to see that, considering he was trying to unlap himself. But I'm not sure what his safety car was for.
He stopped
Dan
on
Burt's
track.
the only one that's out, so he stopped on track, and this is going to be the 3rd time I think in the pits for the Haas. Will we call it a day? I'm not too sure. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, because everything that went wrong this race did go wrong for him, so he won't be happy. So, and now everyone's going to bunch up again, as there's going to be Magnus into the pits now, followed by Hassas, followed by Shadow F1. So pretty much everyone's peeling into the pits now, as the Alfa Romeo does hit I'm Alex. Lucky enough no one got caught for speed in there, so let's see what the Mercedes goes on to. It's a very decent stop there, as he goes on to a set of hards. So Magnus is going to the end now, as some people are going on to from softs to medium, so they may have to commit to a 2-stop now, because I don't think them mediums are going to last to the end. Do you, George?
They potentially could. If safety car stays out for a few laps, they could go to lap 11, and they'd have to do 22 laps on those mediums, which could work, since the fuel gets lighter, and then the car gets lighter, and there won't be much pressure on the tyres. But as you saw there, Shadow had to change his front wing, probably from when Magnus collected him in that spin.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a racing incident there, no one's fault, as he did spin and just get collected, so no one could really be at fault then. It's just unlucky, as they both lost track position. But put these out of a podium and say they won't, I think they still would. They've definitely got the pace to. They've shown the pace. We've seen them in practice races and from previous leagues. They can do it. So, but let's just see, since we do have some very, very fast drivers ahead of them, like Ricky in the lead, then it's Bluefoot. Some of these up here are amazing. Like, we've got freshly promoted Days from Tier 3 to Tier 2. Nicole, who's a Tier 3, who had a chance of winning yesterday's race, but got a bit unfortunate with strategy and got caught up by other drivers and had a few minor incidents. But he definitely did show his pace in that wet race. Ricky the King, let's go. So, Ricky's definitely got a few fans at the moment here. As he's leading the race in his AlphaTauri. He's showed some insane pace. George, what's your opinions on it? On Ricky?
Well, I think he is Tier 1 material, Tier 1 pace. He's clearly shown it in this race. Could have a chance to get promoted, or he could just be a Spain merchant, you never know. But he's showing some good pace at the moment. I've got to give it to him.
Yeah, I think he got very, very, I wouldn't really say lucky, but he done a very good job to overtake Shadow F1 before the first corner there and defend it really well. Because ever since then he just managed to pull away, and Shadow F1 just had more issues of his own there. So to put even more cars between him and Shadow F1 now, who looks like his closest rival on pace at the moment, is a very good thing. But we do know Bluefoot has shown some good pace, and F1 Genesis. We're going to look at the stops now. Who stopped? So at the moment, if the safety car was to pit and come in at the end of this lap, and then 2 laps later everyone had to pit, Magnus, as it is going to peel in at the end of this lap, Magnus will be in a provisional race lead with Jackie Gabbana separating him and Hassas, the next person who has got a pit stop. So, whoa, there's a big little domino effect there. Few dead stops on the track there, which is a bit unsafe, but Magnus is in a prime position, and I'm sure you can agree at the moment, George. As long as he stays consistent, I think he's getting good points.
Yeah, as you said before the race, he said he's got good strategy calls mid-race, and he's good mid-race as well, same as his race pace, better than his 20 pace. So, his pit stop strategy seems to be working out.
Sorry to interrupt you there, George, but it's go, and Ricky has absolutely destroyed it. He's 1.1 in front, and he's already broke the DRS to his Bluefoot, but he's definitely going to come back with that slipstream. But there's like a little trend behind, as it's going to be too wide for the McLaren into turn 1. The same with Red Bull and Days. Nicole and Days are side by side. It's a bit hard to keep track of, but Nicole stays in front, and so does Bluefoot. So that's insane, but Hassas does get past Jackie Gabbana, who might have had a moment where Jackie Gabbana spun his Fusion Gamer. Jackie Gabbana's fully round. I think he had a little hit with Gaffo. There's a Red Bull to a wall. That's a huge accident there for the Red Bull. He's lost his whole front wing. He gets back onto the racing arm, which is a bit of an unsafe rejoin there. But big carnage at the moment here, as the Red Bull is probably just going to go straight on in the corner with no front wing. He's lost all aerodynamic grip, as we're probably going to see the Williams get past, which they do. And pretty much from now on, we're going to see Magnus right on the back of Hype QX, coming up to the start of Sector 3. Oh, he doesn't manage to get the move at all. So, it was a very action-packed safety car restart. George, did you manage to get any first-person views of them accidents at the start of the lap?
Yes, I did. When the Red Bull hit the wall, I was watching it. So, Shadow missed a very big incident when that AlphaTauri spun, and he went to attack the Red Bull that went into the wall. Shadow was going on the right to go down the inside, and he blocked him. And then
as that's close now, Nicole has put his way up into P3, as I'm Alex does get disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So Nicole, the tier 3, he's reserving for a tier 2 at the moment. He's doing amazing. You've got to really admit it. He's a tier 3, and he's shining the tier 2s up, really. He's making the rest of them look bad at the moment. So the only thing he's looking on is forward, because everyone behind him can't keep up. So, as we do see Hype QX lose positions out to Lucky Nutshort at the moment here, and Diaban David now. So Hype QX, who hasn't stopped yet, is getting eaten up by all these people who have stopped. So probably the best idea was to stop. So if we're going to look to leader at the moment, Magnus is 4 seconds behind. The pit window around here, well, sorry, the pit lane, the amount of time you lose is about 21 seconds, if I'm correct, George. So
Yeah, around there.
as long as he can stay within 7 seconds, he won't get caught by the end of the race. No matter how fast they would be on their tyres, since you won't gain that in time. You really couldn't. There's 1:51 from Shadow F1 now, so he's starting to pick up the pace now. As I saw, someone had a time penalty for something. Jackie Cabana's got a time penalty, which is interesting. As Magnus does get past Days now, so Magnus is basically doing what Nicole is and just looking forward because no one else can keep up with him, because that Mercedes on them hards is rapid, and he's going to look for Shadow F1's teammate. He's right all over the back of that McLaren gearbox at the moment. As he spins it, and as he took a wheel off. No, he hasn't. There's a full safety car now. That's unfortunate, as he's beached it, so he can reset to track. Wow, so he was in a very, very good spot. Hopefully he has got another set of hards. If not, he might have to try and risk mediums to the end here. So he's going to have to pit and get his front wing replaced. So that's really ideal for Shadow F1, since that may have been one of his main rivals at the moment. Not good for the Mercedes at all, who was showing a lot of pace, and I may have unfortunately gave him the commentator's curse. So sorry for that, Brandon. Definitely sorry, but Ricky now pits. Everyone's pretty much going to pit at the moment now. It's going to be interesting strategy at the moment. George, what would you go into at the moment if you're Ricky on the mediums?
If I was Ricky on the mediums, I would personally go into the yards.
I think that's the only thing to do. I think since he's on the mediums at the moment here. There's a few people that do stay out, so Shadow F1, who... So F1 Chesney out in the pit lane. What has happened there?
I didn't get to see what happened. I think he might have went into the wall.
I saw people did get penalties for speeding in the pit lane. Where is he? So wait, there's a little pile up. I think he may have hit the safety car. Or what has happened here? If you're just looking at the safety car at the moment, people must just rammed into each other. So do these not understand they have to overtake safety car and it goes round another lap, or is it glitched, or I'm not too sure. But as we run on board with LG Gaff at the moment, who we haven't really seen too much of this race, he's now on a fresh set of hards, I think, or he may have pit earlier on. He's in 4th position now, so he's going to be in a much better position. He's going to probably go to the end on these set of hard tyres now on the Ferrari. So I bet he's happy as well now that the tyre wear glitch got patched. So now his Ferrari is nice and equal compared to everyone else. That everyone else is on hards. No, maybe not. So a few people on mediums. Vader's is on softs, which he pitted. So where is Ricky? Ricky's in P8, so Jackie Cabana is still yet to pit. So I'm not sure what Jackie Cabana's pulling at the moment, but whatever it is, it's an odd strategy. As we see a few more drivers pull into the pits now. So let's look at Magnus. He's got a fresh set of mediums on his car. He's got a fresh front wing. Maybe he could have pitted the end up lap to get back on those hards again and go definitely to the end. But he doesn't. He stays out on his mediums. So how this is turned upside down, wow. Do you think Shadow F1 could go to the end on these mediums that he's currently on?
Barely. I don't think he will be able to properly, but without a puncher, I think he will get to the end, barely. But at the end of the race, you know them hards are just going to be insanely better than those mediums.
Definitely.
So he's going to have to show his pace at the start of the safety car.
Yeah, I think these mediums will be good for, maybe you could say another 10 to 15, maybe 10 to 13 laps, maybe. So I reckon around lap 25, those hards will become really superior at the moment. So the person with hards nearest to him is Lucky Nutshot, who has pitted. So Lucky Nutshot's really just got to stay near Shadow F1 now. And then he's in a very mint position, really. Because he would just sit in the DRS and then he'll have tyre advantage naturally. There's LG Gaffo's on a set of hards as well, so if he shows a bit of pace that we have previously seen in the past, he can get up there. So from what we saw at the start of the race, it's completely upside down, the whole thing. And Nicole, who had to stop twice, who we thought could be on for a spectacular podium in front of his home crowd, he's currently in last, but... And everyone else is pitted, and he may not be going to the end on these tyres at all. Because these mediums are going to be very hard to maintain now for around 17 laps, 18 laps. I reckon it could be done, but George, you'd have to agree, like, you're going to be slightly end on the mediums now, wouldn't you?
Well, now the mediums, I think they are. So if you went to pit right now, I bet mediums would be the better option because they would be better for longer. Because we're halfway through the race, the car's lighter, less stress on the tyres. I think mediums are actually better right now than the mediums.
Yeah, for sure, because I reckon mediums would be very, very good. So if the hard runners could stay with him, but if there was no safety cars, the original strategy was maybe a medium to soft, which was a predicted fastest strategy. They would have had to pit around lap 23, 22, and do a long old stint on softs then. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. So, will safety car be in this lap? It will be. So, Ricky, who was our race leader previously, down in P6, do you reckon he'll be able to get his way through, George?
Easily. I think he would do it easily. All he's got to do now is literally manoeuvre his way around all the carnage, pretty much, because you never know. Some off on turn one.
All I think Ricky has to do is just drive. Drive and just don't hit anyone, and I think he could be on for a very good position as well. So, at the moment...
I just think he's doing a problem part.
How's Haas actually? I don't actually know. Strategy probably the best is Hassas does go now, but there is Shadow F1 got to be right in the back of him. Is he going to be able to go for a move up into turn one? He's surely getting close. Let's see the restart now. We are looking at the restart. Oh, he does get very, very close. As they're all going through turn one. Oh, does the Alfa Romeo hit the Williams? He doesn't. It's very, very close. Does Ricky get past its Bluefoot? No, I think he does lose a position to Bluefoot there. As the AlphaTauri slightly runs out wide, but he's going to look for a dive. Oh, it's the start of sector 2. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. He's going to get a double overtake, I think, as there is an Alfa Romeo off the track. That is Lucky Nutshot's car. Oh, as he hits LG Gaffo. As the AlphaTauri now is just really carving his way through the field. So he's right on the back of Gaffo there, who did have some previous contact. Has there been any more overtakes in the mid-pack there, George? Have you seen? As we're all going to see the cars onto the back straight now. Very, very close it is. Very close.
Alfie Hudson and HYPX is still...
So QX, has he got past Alfie Hudson? He does. So let's look at Magnus. Well, no, not really. The Alpine and the AlphaTauri are going very, very close to each other. And Magnus is right at the back of this. But we're going to be looking down the pit straight. Shadow F1, he's pulled out a very, very big gap. And he's probably going to be going to the end. So this could be a very, very positive race in his direction at the moment. With Hassas in second, closely followed by Ricky, who is showing some incredible pace here from the start. So he's definitely going to want to get past Hassas at the moment here, since his 30 years is very, very bad round here. And do you reckon he'll be able to get it, George, on this map?
Should do. Macau's in the wall. Come on.
So Days, there's an Aston Martin on the grass there. So if we're on board with Days looking behind him, he's up in 5th. But Gaffo's lost a few positions. He's now alongside with the Ferrari. Oh, does Gaffo pull the little switchback? No, Gaffo does get spun, or he spun himself at least. So Gaffo's now down in a very, very poor position, and he's going to be down pretty much in second last with his teammates. So 2 Ferraris have pulled a Ferrari thing. And down in the worst positions they can be is LG Gaffo struggling, extremely struggling, and can't get up to grips at the moment here. As we see Shadow F1 leading another race as Days does get a 3-second time penalty for track limits, as we're going to see Lucky Nutshot get past Hassas here. So Ricky must have got past Hassas. Lucky Nutshot gets past him. Hassas cannot do much about it and doesn't have much of a battery to really defend from. So Daisy's going to be gonna have Hassas right in front of him now. Want to get past him. This is an amazing race so far at the front. As there's a safety car, and what happened there? Do you know? Would it have been because of the two Ferraris?
Yeah, I think
have
they
now
were.
pitted. So that's helped them get back up there. But I want to know this originally caused the safety cars.
No idea.
Two Mercedes are in P10 and 11. Hopefully they're going to aim higher than that, but it's close again. So they're all going to bunch up. George, what do you do? If you're on hards at the moment, do you just go into a set of mediums?
Stand the yards, to be honest. That's the only thing I would do, actually.
I think because Ricky's definitely going to hold track position here, considering there's the people who are going to be a struggle to get past in that midfield there, considering he's going to drop so many positions. I think just stand the hard. Yeah. If you can reach him into a fun win window, as we do see, Shadow F1. Oh, that was very close indeed. Wow.
Yeah.
As he's going to pit, what's the McLaren going to pit onto? Let's see. So Ricky inherits the race lead at the moment. What's the McLaren go on to? He goes on to softs. Was that the right strategy option?
Well, it's going to do 13 laps.
Do you think?
It's a bold. It's a gamble because Ricky would have got him anyway. I would have done the same thing really because Ricky had showed the pace on those hards. Would have been faster at the end of the race as well. I think it's also the right call for him. He's only 9 positions back, not too hard. It's going to be hard to cut through the pack, but he's going to do it.
He's the only driver on softs at the moment now, I think. So he will be on the fastest tyres on the whole grid and one of the newest tyres on the whole grid. So if he can get through the pack quick, he will definitely pose the top 3 a problem again. But Ricky has definitely got the advantage of the cars in between him. So if Ricky can just do what he done at the race start, he will just gap everyone again. And it will just pretty much be near on impossible for Shadow F1 to get past.
Yeah, I think Ricky's going to have it.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible, though, for Shadow F1 to still get a podium here?
Oh, yeah, very possible. He's quicker than everyone in front of him, he's proved that. But I reckon Magnus is going to give him a bit of trouble on those hards. I reckon Brandon's going to give him a bit of defending.
We're not too sure at the moment if there is like hard feelings in between him and Shadow F1 from the crash earlier, so that could maybe influence some extreme defending there. As I think it would be a very good battle to watch, but I think Shadow F1 should dispatch of him quite quickly, especially if he's wise enough just to do it down the pit straight in the DRS. So there's Haas gone to a new set of hards, which I would say is probably the most questionable strategy on the whole grid. So, George, could you agree? Haas has pulled a Ferrari strategy here and seen other people's mediums are working, yet gone on a different tyre. Well, what's your opinions on that?
Well, I think I don't know what he's done there. I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe Mark's told him to do the wrong thing. Listen to Mark this time.
Yeah.
This time around.
Yeah, I think. I mean, unless he knows how the hards work, he's gonna get some trouble from the medium runners behind him, because the mediums will easily last the end and the softs will probably last the end. But I think picking the hards, even if you wanted to play it safe, you'll go the mediums. That's like the safest you can play mediums. These hards are just gonna. I'd rather take a set of softs with a chance of having to punch than really be on those at the moment. You know, they're going to be slow compared to the rest of the grid. You know.
Yeah, unless he thinks they're going to be the best at the end of the race. Well, it's not a good strategy, to be honest. Really poor from the winning side.
Considering the mediums will still hold on to their tyre life, and for another 17 laps, that's not until the hards will kick into play. So we're going to see safety car in this lap. So Lucky Nutshot's on 12 lap old hards, whereas Ricky's on 7. So he's been going a long old time on those. There's Harry Martin. I think that might be Hassas. They said there was no other choice, which is fair. When will Ricky go? We're going to see. As the safety car's still not in the pitch yet, so he will be unable to fully go now. But he does. Ricky goes. Oh, it's a very good restart though from Lucky Nutshot to stay that close with him. So it's not as good as Ricky's previous one. So is Lucky Nutshot going to gain on him before turn 1? We know how OP the slipstream is going to be down here into 1. But there's going to be Dave looking for a move on him. Is Lucky Nutshot going to send it? No, he won't be able to. So Ricky holds on. Live to see another day. Is there any more battles in the midfield here? Oh, what happened? Is there a spin? No, LG Gaffo does
Shadow.
get out positions. So is Nascal. Oh, so
Shadow
there's
lost
quite a few
out.
goes to the cars. So Shadow lost out apparently. He has got the Ferrari alongside him there. He's going to have to give him space. Let's go and go on board with Gaffo's car here, as he's got his teammate alongside. They don't want to have contact at the moment here. His teammate is going to try. They'll switch a route. It doesn't work out. So, but we're going to get a perfect view of the McLaren and the Williams going side by side. Shadow F1 sticks in. A very, very strange corner. He sticks at, which is a very, very, very good race. So Daze has managed to get his way past past Lucky Nutshot, who must have had a poor restart or something, because he was near on alongside Ricky into turn 1. As we do see someone go wide, I think that was that Vader's? I'm not too sure, but Hassas does get past him. But will Vader's get him up into 1, especially the slipstream? We might see, but oh, there's Shadow F1 right on the back of him. This might be very close to dive as well, because Hassas might be there as well, and we don't. Oh, is there wheel banging? They're wheel banging even more. Oh, it's very, very tight. Shadow F1 yields out the move, but we managed to shoot up to him towards turn 4 now on the start of sector 2. He may be able to get a good enough traction. I doubt it, but Vader sticks to the defensive side of the track. There's a little tap there, but nothing major. As now the Mercedes are getting in a more positive direction now. Their races are looking better and better as laps go by. But why is Fitz named Diaban? He got banned. His account got banned. Yeah, so that's why he's on a different account. So at the moment it's a good restart from Ricky, but Daisy's putting an absolute top job in at the moment.
And there goes Magnus. Magnus has just been tapped down by his teammate.
So the two silver arrows have collided with each other. Magnus is going to try and get his car facing the right way again, as Ricky sets the fastest lap of the race. I'm sure they're going to be talking with each other about that after the race, considering they're two teammates. As Shadow's going to be going alongside with him. Let's go on board with NASCAR's view here. See that's on board. Well, Shadow F1 gets past him before turn 1. That's an excellent move. And the straight line speed of that McLaren is very good at the moment. So the softs in that McLaren are very fast, and I reckon Shadow F1's going to catch up to Hassas probably before. Oh, there's a big shunt with the Alpine now. I'm not sure what happened there. 3-second time penalty issued to Gaffo there. George, did you see that? So was it Lucky Nutshot or Hassas that may have collided with the Alpine of Footy there? I'm not
Hassas
sure.
was
Footy
closer.
gets disqualified. So that's our third disqualification this race. As now we're going to see Nascal going to get DRS. He might get alongside Vader's here. Does he get alongside? No, he might have to back out. But he pulls switch back. That's an amazing move from Nascal there. Oh, wow. Excellent move. As now Gaffo's going to be right on the back of him. So we've got word. Hassas punted him, I think. So Hassas punted him round and then ultimately led to his disqualification. So Hassas has got a lovely bit of DRS now. Not much battery though, as he goes opposite that outside move. But will Shadow F1 get a double overtake? We're going to have a look. It's a poor move, a poor camera angle, sorry, and he does. So that's very, very good. So now Shadow F1 has got a chase up to the Aston Martin now, or Hype QX, but it's Bluefoot's right in the back of Daze here. But Daze has lost out to Ricky, so Ricky's just pulled it ahead even more and got his gap up to 2 seconds. So he's just cruising on the track now. He's just got to stay consistent, and he has a very good chance of leading. But there's yellow flags in sector 2. What's happened? Lucky Nutshot and NASCAR, I think, have a little moment there. So they must have had slight contact. So NASCAR's up into P7 now. Considering he was half a lap behind a few laps ago, he's done a stellar job to get back up here. As now LG Gaffo's right on the back of Lucky Nutshot here. He's going to opt out outside into sector 3. Oh, and he doesn't get the move done. How can I get an invite? The connector sucks. I don't have you added. I mean, add me, Legend 44355 on the EA. If I see it, I can accept it and then send you an invite so you can take control of your car again.
Well, Magnus DNF last lap on turn 8.
Oh yeah, he's fully lagged out. He's in a circle away. I understand. So LG Gaffo's now moved up into 8th position now. He's got past Lucky Nutshot, whose race has really turned upside down. He was fighting for a podium a minute ago, but now those hards that are 17 laps old have just lost all pace. Loads and loads of pace. So now Shadow F1's right on the back of the Aston Martin here. He's going to be very eager to get past him. Let's see what he can do. The Aston Martin has significant more battery at the moment compared to Shadow F1. As the audio's really glitchy. George, is that the same for you?
I can't really hear the audio properly, but it's
really bugged out, I think, on the stream. We do see Days, yeah, he takes the 1994 layout of this circuit, which isn't the fastest, so this has helped Shadow F1 get closer to a podium position now. So, will we see him get past Hype QX and maybe Days on the next coming laps? So, oh wow, the audio is very buggy at the moment here. And there's not much to really do about it.
As he opens the DRS. Look at him, he's going,
so it's
he's
fixed,
really going
fixed. So, is that Shadow F1 alongside into 1? Oh, little wheel bang. Does Shadow F1 get past? He does get past. Wow. So, at the moment, would you call this a driver of the day performance at the moment from Shadow F1 here? Because he just can't stop overtaking people.
Yeah, went from first to last, but back up to the positions. As you see, Days of a penalty, pretty much in the podium positions with penalties involved. And with the pace he's showing, I think he might be able to go for the win.
Yeah, for sure. Considering he's on much younger softs compared to loads of older hards now. So I would still say he's on a better tyre, but he might have to push as much as he can at the moment before those softs do start losing their full potential and those hards start getting a bigger benefit now. So he is within DRS of Days at the moment here for the final podium position. Who has got fastest lap? I need to check.
Shadow.
Does he?
I think he's still got it.
Yeah, fastest lap. So Shadow F1 does have a fastest lap by quite a bit. So unless someone pits onto soft, he will hold that. As Days does have the 3 seconds. So, but I'm not sure what really happened. No, I thought he just lagged behind on our screen slightly.
A safety car will really help out Shadow.
There is yellow flags in sector 1 though. Are the 2 Ferrari side by side? I think they was, and they may have changed positions. As they're side by side again. Wow, what a move from Gaffo. So Gaffo's moved himself up into P7 now, but he has got the time penalty, so I think it may have been better just to let his teammates stay in front now. As yeah, I didn't clock it, but Magnus did DNF from the session there. And I think I saw an Alpine or something, like, stopped on track, unless it was glitched.
I think I held someone out.
So,
as Days goes off the track
Shadow
again.
F1's going to get past him as Days runs off the track. He's really struggling with grip now on those 14 lap old hards. So that's him up into a podium position now, but he has to pull 3.6 seconds to get to Bluefoot. And Bluefoot's 1.8 behind Ricky, and there's only about 6 or 7 laps remaining here. He's going to need an extreme performance as he's lagging quite a bit. So Days does ghost inside his car. So Days is probably going to get past him here just with the overtake. Not the overtake, the DRS here. It's going to be side by side into 1. Will Days get him before turn 1? He does. So that's Days up into 3rd again now, and Shadow F1 losing a position now. So his favourite overtaking spot, he lost out on, and he'd been overtaken by someone else. So he's got Hype QX right behind him. Have those softs dropped off? We're not too sure. He doesn't look like he's gaining too much on Days, and he looks like he's losing more and more time as it goes. But this man here, Ricky, is driving an excellent race, and he looks like he's just taking it nice and smooth. Because with a gap of 1.9, it's close, but as long as he keeps Bluefoot out of the DRS. Oh, what happened? Oh, Shadow F1 gets close to the barrier there. That's not ideal. He's going to have Gaffo right behind him. Will Gaffo overtake him before the end of the straight? He probably will. So Manasco is free three wide into sector 3. Does Nasco get a double overtake? He does. As Shadow F1 spins, that's not great. He's going to be very upset with that now, because he was having a very, very good race about half a lap ago, and now he's in this position, which is he'd probably be fuming about. But the Ferraris are getting better and better as the race goes on. That was a very insane three wide there. George, did you expect to see that?
No, very disappointing for Shadow. I really feel bad for him, to be honest. All that hard work, he's at the pit again. All that hard work, it's just gone down the drain. Hoping for a safety car, which ain't going to be happening. Oh, he's retired.
Oh,
in
and
the
he's
pits.
retired
Wow,
in the pits now,
that's
which
unlucky.
he probably shouldn't have done, because he could have picked up points. He definitely could have picked up, although it's only one championship point, he could have picked up a point and get fastest lap to get another point. So he could have had 2 points, and
He would have
I'd
3 because he
rather
would
have
have been P9.
would he? Oh, so 2 points is better than that.
Yeah.
2 points is better than nothing at the end of the day. Even, yeah, 3 points would.
With
well,
the fastest
yeah,
lap 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And he probably could have caught.
So
Wait,
he's-
not shot. There's
What
no
happened to
P8.
like Yeah, he's been P8 for a while now. Those 21 lap old meat hard, sorry, have gone a long
Stop
old
doing
way.
it.
Yeah, so at the moment, the best bit of action we have is this little battle for 6th. Nicole,
And
right on the back
second.
of his teammate, reserving at the moment. Will he have to take a full-time seat in Tier 2 soon, because he's absolutely flying this race. But lucky Nutshot's in the DRS as well, so don't count him out of this either. But Gaffo's just going to have to defend with 3 laps remaining here on his Spaniard teammate, who might be putting on a very good show in front of his home crowd. As Gaffo goes onto the Gaffo and spins! Oh, that's a huge, huge spin from Gaffo there. Did you see that, George? Because I caught that right on straight.
Yeah,
He's
very
going to be
bad
frustrated
understeer.
with that.
Oh, unlucky
Yeah.
knock shot spins. Loses wing damage.
Wow. So lucky Nut sort of spun it into the barrier, got wing damage. So Gaffo moves back up to P7. Nakao is 1.9 behind Hassas. Can he gain on Hassas now, who has got a penalty as well? This will be hard, but if we check penalties, Days has got 3 seconds. So does Hassas. So Nakao's on for a P5 here, which is extreme for him in his home Grand Prix, and I'm sure he'll be very happy with that one, because this race is going much better than his Tier 3 race yesterday, I'm sure. At the moment, everyone's starting to spread out a bit more, but no one is near each other, so as the race turns more boring, the gap between Ricky and Bluefoot is 5.7 seconds.
Might have to move him up to Tier 1.
Well, I think we could say the same thing for Shadow with that qualifying pace, but I think Ricky's just done everything right this race, and he hasn't stepped a foot out of line. On lap 31 out of 33 here, I'm not going to jinx anything, but it's looking good for him. As Lucky Nutshot gets 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits, I don't think that's going to matter too much at the moment here.
Yeah.
What happened to Felix?
Probably trying to pick up fastest lap.
Felix got hit by the 2 Ferraris or something happened there, and he spun and like lost his front wing, so he just retired. So, and I don't think he should have retired, because he could have picked up points still, but it is where it is.
With
Mikhail
having
has now got
Lucky
into DRS with Hatta, so this is the closest bit of action we got now. If we're going to ride on board with Mikhail here, he's getting very, very close to the Williams in front of him, but I'm going to come out of it because the audio is really bugged. And it's really annoying, actually, that audio, but Nicole's getting very close. They have the exact same amount of ERS and battery here, so it's just going to rely on that straight line speed of the Ferrari, their wings, and the DRS. Will Nicole manage to go for a move? I believe he can, and he does. Nicole makes the move before the braking zone. So that was an extreme straight line speed there from the Ferrari, who's up into 5th now in his home GP. I'm sure he's very, very happy with that one. And Days does have the 3 seconds, so if he can reduce it by about 6 tenths here, he can get a P4. So Nicole, I'm not sure if you hear this, but pick up the pace, you can get some more points. Because this could be a very good race for Ferrari here, since I think they're the only constructor in this race at the moment with two cars in the points. So it's going very right in our eyes. I'll do Red Bull. Oh yeah, so Red Bull do with Days and
Oh no,
Race
11th. He's in the points.
Oh, so he's been over. Yeah, he goes. So Lucky Nutshot has and Alfa Romeo's there. So Alfa Romeo's are getting 19 points so far this race. And the Red Bulls are picking up 15. So um, it's
Ricky's
a very
taking
good race. But
25.
I think AlphaTauri will pick up the most points this race here, no matter what Ferrari do.
So they're not dominant.
Yeah, 6.9 now. He's just doing everything right, isn't he? And we just can't blame for that, as it is the final lap of the race, which I did not realise. So I'm not sure if Nikau is close enough to get within that P4 spot here. But we're going to ride on board with Ricky for the rest of this lap, since nothing else is really going to happen. What a race it
Yeah.
has been so far for Ricky here. What's your opinions on this, George?
Well, Ricky, just great driver. I've got to give it to him. Even though I personally think he didn't go for the right strategy, but his pace has just been so good, it don't matter.
Yeah, I agree there. His pace has been very, very good. His Lucky Nutshot sets the fastest lap of the race. He does get another point for that, so that's 2 points for Alfa Romeo. So they're going to be getting 20 points this race, which is a very, very good points grabbing. But as Ricky is going to round the final corner now to win the Tier 2 race, Season 1, Round 1, Ricky in the AlphaTauri wins the Spanish GP, takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Very, very good race from him, followed by Bluefoot, then Hype QX, then Days, who does have the penalties, and Nakal gets up into his position, and then Hassas in P6. Then Gaffo should be coming across the line now to claim P7 in the Ferrari. Then probably Vader's. Lucky Nutshot, who's a good half a lap behind though, but he did pit for fastest lap. So Vader's is now P7. Gaffo went down to P8 because of the penalties. Lucky Nutshot will probably be P10 because of a penalty. So Theo Pro will probably claim that P9 there. Very, very great race from the AlphaTauri there. I'm sure he'd be happy with that one. Very dominant drive. So definitely big well done there to the AlphaTauri there. Jules, we did not see that coming, did we? And our predictions were completely wrong.
No. As I said, Ricky was going to DNF and Shannon was going to win. I went completely wrong.
You got it the wrong way around there. So that's insane. So we see the AlphaTauri going to be on the top step of the podium now. Very, very great race. So the Britsman on the top step of the podium, he's got to be happy with that race. He definitely will be. I think out of the top three there, he was definitely the underdog to win the race. He was the dark horse there, and he done it, and he done it in epic fashion by destroying everyone basically by nearly 6 seconds, I think it was at the end. So it's a big points haul for him and AlphaTauri now, and heading towards round 2. It's a very, very in the positive direction at the moment. So that's the finishing order, with Ricky bringing home 25 points and a win for AlphaTauri there. They're going to be happy with that. Followed by Bluefoot, Hype QX, Nicole, Days, Hassas, Vaders, Gaffo, Lucky Nutshot, Theo Pro, Fusion Gamer, and Diaban. So Shadow F1 DNF, Alfie Hudson DNF, Jackie Cabana DNF, General Hart DNF, 30 DNF, F1 Gen Z DNF, I am Alex DNF, S.J. Williams DNF, Dan Burt DNF. I just want to grab the incidents right now just to help us later on. That's that done. What a great race, and thank you for joining us in WLR Season 1, Round 1 in Tier 2 Spain. Have a great night.